Firefighters say this fire is under control, but as you can see, there is still a lot of smoke and there are still a lot of flames. In fact, just a minute ago, I heard a loud crash. Something had collapsed and then a large blaze shot up. But the issue all morning, the concern has been the wind. Right here in the grassy areas on the side of I-75, I want to give you an idea of how much we're seeing right here. That's about 3 inches. 3.5 inches. That's about the amount that I've measured here on the side of the road, but that's not really the story, the snow on the grass. The kids may like it, but that's not the story. The story is the snow and this slushy stuff opens at noon today. Now, I have been having so much fun out here. I want to show you one thing that I found. They actually have 60 of these dinosaurs, and it's very interactive, and it's great for all ages. Let me show you this guy here. This is just one thing. You can move his entire body. We say, do you like channel 6? This is how he responds. And then besides that, you can also make him breathe. You can move his tail. 6 News was the first crew on the scene. We have been here since shortly after the accident occurred, and according to dispatch, the accident happened a couple of hours ago. The Knoxville police officer is the only one involved in the accident. Find a way to safely get this rock down. Earlier this morning, one rock about the size of the car fell here westbound on Interstate 40. One lane of traffic is closed, but if you can see it, this rock about the size of a house, it's being called astronomically huge by some officials, is threatening to come down. And actually what you're seeing right here is just a portion of the rock. This burned down warehouse on Jackson Avenue now serves as a temporary home for vagrants. Greg White remembers seeing the building burn in 2007 and saw the recent small fires there as well. With his business just yards away, the activity has him concerned.
It's a danger. I mean, the people live right beside there. I own a business there. If something happens, it could be bad.
DJ Corcoran with the Knoxville Fire Department says within a week, a barrel of trash was burning and a mattress was on fire. He says some vagrants that don't want to abide by the shelter's rules break into the building and start fires for warmth.
If this type of activity continues to go on, it's just a matter of time before we have another McClung. And hopefully it won't be like in 2007 where we just about lost 4 firefighters.
Firefighters are discouraged from even entering this building because going inside to put out a fire could cost them their life.
There's holes in the floor of this building. There's rotted out boards that drop down 30 foot and more.
The city has boarded up doors and put up a fence, but trespassing continues. City officials tell us they have the legal right to tear down the building, but say it could cost nearly $1 million, and there's no guarantee they'll get the money back. According to officials, the owner of the warehouse is going through bankruptcy. Now a trustee is in charge of the building. Greg White says the warehouse is dangerous for everyone near the area, and he wants the building's trustee to take action.
Keep it secure and safe. It's an unsafe situation. It puts firefighters in danger. It puts the public in danger. It's a bad situation.
In downtown Knoxville, Stephanie Beacon, 6 News. Eddie Deaver has cerebral palsy. The condition has caused him problems with moving his body. To get around, he has to use a wheelchair. Just to get in and out of bed, he's needed the help of another person.
People down through the years have come and they put my feet up or something like that. I need something, they help me that way. And I have to pay for it.
Industrial engineer professor Dr. Rupi Sani heard Deaver's plight and told his students.
We're here as the University of Tennessee in Knoxville. So what we do is provide state-of-the-art research and try to apply it to our community.
Lavanya Morella and 4 other students wanted to help. For the last year, they've been designing equipment to make Deaver more independent.
He could not pull his legs into the bed because he had a bad back and a weak hands to actually pull him. So we went about designing different things that we could help him.
After designing a system, they realized a similar model was already on the market. Instead of making their own and forcing Deaver to wait, they were able to use research funds to pay for this one. Now they're customizing it to better fit Deaver's needs, putting pop-up buttons on the controller so it's easier on his hands, and installing stoppers so the machine won't move if he accidentally pulls too hard.
He's being like a motivation, and it definitely is a wonderful feeling if once he gets start doing it and he's on by his own. It will be wonderful.
Deaver can't wait to be able to go to bed without having to ask others for help. He says thank you just isn't enough.
Not enough words to express how wonderful they are, that they would take their time just to help an individual like me.
In Knoxville, Stephanie Beacon, 6 News. It may only cost a few cents, but for many banking customers, these extra pennies spent really add up. Jane Crabtree recently learned that her bank has added a fee to use a debit card.
I was frustrated and irritated and angry because banks are making a ton of money at my expense.
But those in the banking industry say federal regulations force them to find another source of revenue.
So that resulted in a loss for the banking industry of approximately $12 billion in revenue.
East Region First Tennessee Bank President Pam Fansler says due to the loss, many banking institutions will soon have to find new ways to make up lost revenue, like adding debit card fees, a charge Crabtree is trying to avoid.
And when I found out they were starting to charge fees, I canceled my accounts or changed my accounts so I wouldn't have to pay fees.
Even though these debit card fees may be inevitable, there are steps you can take to avoid having to pay the fee altogether.
It could be that by consolidating accounts, there could be any number of ways that customers could look at reducing or having fees rebated or even avoiding fees.
Banking customers like Christopher Hayes don't even use a debit card now.
I always pay cash to avoid any possibility of any hidden charges that might be incurred.
It's a change Crabtree may soon make to save money. Stephanie Beacon, 6 News.